The next place we headed to was San Diego using the Flixbus bus service from Anaheim. There isn't any footage of us on the bus as neither of us had good seats. Unfortunately, the bus driver didn't seem to be enforcing the reserved seats, so we just had to sit where there was room, resulting in us being sat separately and on our seats. We got into San Diego quite late, so got some food from a burger place around the corner and went to sleep. The next day we spent the morning relaxing and then headed to Old Town San Diego from a recommendation we had had from a hostel. It was easy to get to. Our hostel was in downtown San Diego, close to the Gaslamp Quarter tram stop. From there you can go directly to Old Town San Diego for $2.50 per person each way. It was interesting to see some more historic buildings and appreciate the influences San Diego has had from Mexico. There were lots of markets around the town selling various bits and pieces. A lot of the stuff looked quite similar to what we had seen in the markets in Oaxaca, although they did also sell cowboy boots and hats. One of the main reasons we'd gone to Old Town San Diego was to go on the tour of the Whaley House, which is supposedly America's most haunted house. The tour has a maximum of 20 people per group, costs $18 per person, and takes you around the whole Whaley House, giving various stories about the Whaley family. You start the tour going through the front doors into the courtroom, learning about why Thomas Whaley had built the house. You then continue through into the old shop that had been used to sell alcohol in Old Town San Diego and learn about relationships between the family and various tragedies that had happened in the house, including the death of Thomas Whaley's son from scarlet fever. You then move through into the kitchen where the guide told us more stories about the family and hauntings in the house.
And watch your step, folks. Feel free to hold the handrail. I don't need any more stories to memorize.
You move upstairs and can look in both the bedrooms from the landing. One of these bedrooms belonged to Violet Whaley, who committed suicide after the marriage to her new husband had gone wrong. She shot herself in the chest and died in the house and is reported to be haunting the house today. The next room is the theatre. It was the first theatre opened in San Diego, and many nights of entertainment were held there. You then go back downstairs into the living room. It's believed that the living room is built upon old hanging grounds and haunted by Yankee Jim Robinson, who was too tall when he was hung and instead of dying instantly got a long gruesome death of strangulation. It is said that the Whaley House is haunted by a number of different ghosts, the main ones being Thomas Whaley, Anna Whaley, his wife, Violet, and Yankee Jim Robinson. The tour is very informative and took us about 40 to 45 minutes to complete. I definitely suggest giving it a go after dark if you want to learn about the past of Old Town San Diego, and you might even get the chance to see a ghost. After visiting the house, we were told by some people on the tour that the cemetery is also worth visiting, as it's reported to be haunted as well. We didn't go into the cemetery itself, but had a look from the outside and then headed back to our hostel. So Meg, what did you think of the Whaley House? Did it scare you?
It did a little, to be fair. I didn't see anything, but just like with the stories and stuff, it was quite freaky.
I thought it was a bit weird. There was like one of the rooms where they were like, oh, you can feel your hands around your neck. And I was like, I don't know if it's because you've said it.
We both felt that, didn't we? But I'm not sure, like you say, if it was just because they mentioned that to you, whether you then felt that.
But it was a pretty cool tour, wasn't it?
Mhm.
I think we both enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was definitely worth doing.
Something different. So yeah, I think we're going to the zoo tomorrow, so we'll see what that's like. The next day we got the bus to San Diego Zoo. I can't remember how much the bus was supposed to cost, but the driver let us on for free, which was a bonus, and we got off the bus at Balboa Park, a short walk away from the zoo. When we arrived at the zoo, the first thing we did was get a map and head to the bus tour location. The bus tour is included in the ticket and was a great way for us to find our bearings and appreciate the sheer size of the zoo. The bus takes you around most areas of the zoo, stopping off to view various animals in their enclosures before finishing back where you start. Our tour guide was very informative and we got to see a lot of the animals just by getting on the bus alone.
Help her pick up smaller things, like little bits of plants and things like that. So if you've ever heard the name spectacles, they're the same type of Central and South America leopards like you see over here can be found.
From there we headed to the Sydney Grill for lunch. I think it just mostly had standard American attraction food, for example burgers and chicken tenders, but we ended up enjoying it. From the Sydney Grill we headed deeper into the outback area to see the koalas, as well as going into the urban jungle area, which is not part of the bus tour. In the urban jungle we saw the giraffes and hippos and then headed back to the entrance towards the sky safari. The sky safari is the other mode of transportation around the zoo. It will take you from the entrance of the zoo over to the northern frontier where you can see the polar bears. We thought watching the polar bears was absolutely fascinating and we spent a lot of time there. We then continued around the zoo, seeing the last few areas we hadn't yet seen before the sun went down, and then went to see all the Christmas lights. I don't think either of us had been in a zoo after dark, but it was quite a cool experience. It's quite hard to see the animals, and I think they do the best to try and keep the enclosures dark to try and not disturb them, but it was nice to see all the effort they had put in to make the zoo Christmassy. We made our way back across to the front of the park using the sky ferry once again and left the zoo after a long and enjoyable day. We both highly recommend the zoo to anyone going to San Diego, although just be prepared for a long day with a lot of walking if you want to see everything.